most men never learn. There's one psychological skill that 99% of men never master: the ability to control a woman's mind without ever trying to control her. Most men operate in one of two modes: convince or chase. They explain, they justify, they overshare, and eventually they lose. But there's a rare kind of man, a man who never needs to beg, persuade, or demand. A man who governs a woman's emotional frame so subtly she doesn't even know she's orbiting him until she realizes she can't forget him. He's the man she thinks about when she wakes up, when she falls asleep, when she wonders why she's never truly over him. Machiavelli never wrote about seduction directly, but he gave us a principle that governs it all. He who controls perception controls power. This isn't manipulation. It's not about deceit. It's about emotional leadership, mastering yourself so deeply that you quietly shape the experience of everyone around you, especially her. Because the strongest control is never imposed, it's felt. Let's begin. 1. Never let her fully understand you, the mystery rule. There is a brutal law of human nature that most men ignore. The more she feels she fully understands you, the faster she emotionally disconnects. Predictability kills passion. Mystery, it breeds obsession. When a man reveals too much, too soon, his traumas, his exes, his goals, his fears, he thinks he's being vulnerable. But what he's actually doing is stripping away the psychological terrain her mind needs to explore. And once there's nothing left to explore, her curiosity shuts down. Her emotions wander elsewhere. Now imagine this. You meet her online. Most men rush to be different, so they overshare, hoping vulnerability will win her over. But you're composed. You reveal just enough to ignite interest, but leave strategic gaps. She asks about your past. You respond, "My past shaped me, but it doesn't define me." Simple, firm, unshakable. Her mind races. Why won't he open up? Is he hiding something? Or is he just that strong? Curiosity grows where certainty is absent. This quiet tension generates far more emotional heat than any grand gesture. In a relationship, she asks, "How did that deal go at work?" Most men launch into a play-by-play. Whoever controls the narrative controls the throne. Let's paint the picture. You're on a first date. It goes well. Great energy, laughter, chemistry. Then, silence. You don't text endlessly afterward. You don't seek assurance. You disappear, not as a tactic, but as a byproduct of living purposefully. Meanwhile, her thoughts spiral. Did I say something wrong? Is he not interested? Why hasn't he messaged me? This is the power of the unanswered question. Her brain starts working overtime, writing emotional stories around you. And with each unanswered scenario, she bonds herself deeper to your image. Now imagine in a long-term relationship, there's tension. She expects emotional repair. But instead of apologizing and defending, you simply say, "Take your time. When you're ready to speak constructively, I'll be here." You've just shifted the burden of processing back to her. And now she sits in that silence, wondering, why isn't he reactive? Why does he seem so grounded? Why doesn't he need my validation? Let that silence stretch. Let her thoughts swirl. Because obsession doesn't grow from comfort. It grows from unresolved emotional tension. 3. Delay your validation. The obsession multiplier. Nothing dissolves your power faster than freely giving what should be earned. Men are often too quick to validate out of fear, anxiety, or the need to be liked. But Machiavelli taught us, men esteem most what is gained with difficulty. So your compliments, your praise, your approval, they must be rare, precious, measured. Let's say she compliments you. Wow, you always dress so well. Most men would immediately return the favor. You just smile and say, you've got good taste, effortless, confident, slightly ambiguous. Now her mind kicks in. Wait, is he into me? Why didn't he compliment me back? Let that subtle tension burn. In a relationship, she tries to make peace, cooks your favorite dinner after a rough week. Most men crumble with gratitude. This is amazing. You're the best. But not you. You eat, you enjoy, you say nothing, and later, when it means more, you whisper, that reminded me why I chose you. Now the validation hits, not because it was loud, but because it was earned. That's the next lever. Validation becomes currency. The rarer it is, the more powerful it becomes. 4. Create your leading. And in her mind, who else has access to his time? What else is he building? How do I earn more space in his world? That's the addiction. Even in marriage, she knows you're working, building, evolving, but you don't narrate every meeting, every move. You attend a mastermind weekend. She asks, what did you learn? You respond, powerful insights. You'll see the results. No explanation, no validation seeking, just stillness. Because true kings don't explain the castle, they let results speak. Here's your next move. Build your empire, but make access selective. Because the less she sees, the more she imagines. And imagination is a force multiplier for desire. 5. Master silent dominance, the unseen gravity rule. The strongest presence never raises its voice. It doesn't argue, it doesn't beg, it doesn't perform. It simply exists, and everything else adjusts. Machiavelli might say, the prince who rules best is the one whose presence demands loyalty without ever requesting it. You're at an event, she's with you. Another man, confident, charismatic, tries to spark her attention. Most men would tense up, grab her waist, try harder. You remain calm. You continue your conversation. You don't flinch. You don't react. She feels it instantly. He's not threatened. He's not competing. He knows who he is. Now she wants your attention more, not less. In a family setting, tensions rise. Her relatives question your decisions. Her friends test your frame. You speak with clarity, then retreat to silence. Later you tell her, I don't respond to noise. I lead through clarity. That's how I protect us. Your restraint becomes your power. Here's your final mastery move. Train your emotional baseline to remain calm under all pressure. Because in the presence of true stillness, even chaos starts to obey. Final words. Become the center of gravity. You've now learned 5 psychological strategies that silently control her emotional world, but knowing is not enough. Because real power isn't learned, it's embodied. At some point, every man must rise beyond techniques and words and step into pure presence, where you don't chase, you don't explain, you don't try to be understood. You are the understanding.